All right, so earlier this week, I said that I would make a video covering some of the games that got shut down, and people said they were going to make an offline version of it. I haven't checked out these in a very long time, so I genuinely do not know what's going on with these, but this is why we have this video. And without further ado, because we're already here, let's look at the Final Fantasy Brave Exodus subreddit to see if there is anything new. I also hope this does not sound too loud because I currently have my mic in my hand instead of on this little thing. Because for some reason, because I got a new computer, and for some reason it picks up my fan in the background. So hopefully this helps. If not, then I'm gonna have to edit the noise down. But all right, with that out of the way, let's take a peek. So translators. Wait, so hold on. I thought both versions of the game were shutting down, not just. All right. Okay, looks like there's translation. Hold on. When did this come out? Because I have a feeling this is fake. Motherfucker. All right, okay. That was fake. I had a feeling it was, but I wanted to be sure. Dude, that's so mean, man. Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, the card game. Wouldn't it be cool to have a card game like Pokemon Never, but Final Fantasy version instead? All the alternate sprites and kids were just sitting there in the archives. It would be a pretty fun game, right? The idea has been spun around in my head for like the last week. Okay, that's interesting. Wait, hold on. Someone made a demo about this? Hold on. Let's see what this demo's looking like. Oh. Bro, shut up. Alright. No, this game does not exist. Do we have images? We don't have images. This is just an idea. Okay. Yeah, I'm not reading all that. Alright. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't reading all that. Okay, so. Okay, wait, hold on. Because I thought both versions of the game were shutting down, not just the global version. But I guess not, because if we're still getting updates on April 11th, I would like to believe that this means that only the global version shut down. Okay. I'm actually. It's been so long since I've made the video on this that I genuinely do not remember if both versions were shit. But I was supposed to make a video on this. I'll save that for later. All right, I'm just gonna assume that there really hasn't been any progress on this because I would imagine. Hold on. Any chance Netflix will relaunch Final Fantasy Brave Exvius? Like how they did with Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed, they adapted the game for zero pay content and relaunched. Why would Netflix do this? Only way this has more chance is if Final Fantasy 17 is a mega gigantic hit. Final Fantasy 17 is not even being made yet, though, right? Because I imagine that they are going to make it, but I don't think anything has been known about it or whatever. Interesting. There's a much better chance of Square taking all the gacha elements out of the game and converting into a standard SNES. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If Square did that, that would be pretty cool. Because the thing with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, it's a good game. It's literally just Brave Frontier 2.0, but just with Final Fantasy characters. I've said this since like day one, ever since I started playing this. I was like, dude, this is literally just Brave Frontier 2, but just Final Fantasy characters. So if they took out like the gacha aspect of it and made it like a standalone game that you pay for, like a one-time thing, kind of like how Nintendo did with Animal Crossing, to where they shut that game down and then they made another version of it to where you just spend $10 and they add stuff to it and you have access to, like, I almost said the battle pass, the paid stuff that was in there. If they did something like that, I think a lot of people, including me, would not mind that, because that way the gacha system, I'm talking too fast, is out of the game, and you don't have to worry about whaling to get a character. I think that would be pretty good if they did that, in my personal opinion. Will they do it? We have no clue. Um, NetEase or Netmarble. I hope someone does, but I doubt there will be much interest. I barely log into my after global close. Main reason, the JP side with the crystal ball and globals. Fun logging every week, seeing the crazy things they come up with. It's Netflix gaming. Was really impressed with what they did with Lego. Also, I believe they could do the same thing for. Okay, let's read this because I didn't even know Netflix had something like this. Because let me back up. Let me back up because I know Netflix, like, for some reason, uh, you're able to play Hades on phone if you have a Netflix account. Don't know why they just didn't release Hades for free on phones, but whatever. So let's see what they have. Squid Game Unleashed, LMAO. First thing, like, words, we all have reaching, you start playing. Princess, teams aren't kid profiles. Okay. So where do I see the? So where do I? Okay, here we go. I guess, bro. What would you consider Final Fantasy? Was it? I think you consider an RPG. Dungeon. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna look through this because I'm actually curious. Because I'm not gonna lie. If Netflix has some good stuff, I might though resubscribe to Netflix. Okay, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I think obviously I don't have to do this because I have Hades both on my Switch and on my PC. But if I didn't have a Switch or a computer, well, first of all, I wouldn't be making videos because I would not do this on a phone. But I would just only get Netflix for Hades because if you don't know, Hades is a really good game that I think everybody should play. And if you haven't, definitely give it a whirl. All right. Okay. All right. Anyways. God, I hope not keep Netflix away from everything. It's crazy. Okay. So far, it looks like there hasn't been any updates on this, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I imagine that it definitely takes a while for them to do this because, like, look at Brave Frontier Recoded. That game, the remake was announced like 2 years ago, and they're still working on it. So I imagine with this, it's going to take them a while before they're able to like remake it, if they're going to remake it. Because from what I remember, I think they're just like archiving stuff. From what I remember, I can't find the post. If I do, then maybe I'll add it in. But yeah. All right, let's move on to the next. All right, Bluestone. So this is another game that I remember them talking about doing an offline version, and let's see if anything has been made about it. Okay, we have art. I don't think I've ever saw this. Okay, I'm very unaware of what happened to the game since it's okay. There we go. I'm very unaware of what happened with this game since it's been years since I've played this. How come the servers aren't down? Did the devs abandon us? I'm assuming so, since I saw a post from 2 years ago saying that the servers have been dead. The dev got doomed, game got doomed, we're just doomed without any conclusion, explanation. If you can, consider study some Korean or using AI translating. Some people have Korea. Bro, you're being funny. You're being funny. Ha ha. Ha ha. All right. I'll give you some random reason, dude. I'm holding my mic so weird. I'll give you some random reasons why Bluestone shut down. Maybe due to COVID-19, affecting some staffs from Visual Shower. The service quality went downward. No content ever since. It's running on the game. The mini game Bluestones. For other reasons, the event was giving too many freebies and materials to players, but that's the dev feels unhappy, and they decided to execute massive server rollback. Players progressed during a week long, got backward and left, and many left angry, leaving the game. Okay, wait. So, did Bluestone shut down during the pandemic? 2023? Dude, I thought this game died forever ago. I didn't realize it was like that recent. Okay. Um. Okay, so these are screenshot archives, images. Dude, I probably should bookmark these so I know. Okay, so someone. It looks like we have somewhat of an update. Someone's just asking if they're still working on it. Okay, we're good. We're good. I just have to be careful with the way I hold this because I don't. The last thing I want to happen is for me to have to do this over again. So back to where we were. So it looks like we don't really have an update on this, but someone is still possibly working on it. Honestly, man, I just need to join these servers and see what's going on. Because maybe then I can just, you know what, hold on. Let me do that. Let me do that. All right, after like spending 30 minutes trying to figure this out, it turns out that the link is expired. So unfortunately, I can't join it. So I do not know what's going on in there unless, no. Yeah. Okay, well, that's everything for Blue Sun, I guess. Let's move on to the next one. Dude, I'm so mad that I really did all that work just for that to be like LMAO. No. All right, the next one is Code Geass Lost Stories. And this one, I mean, I didn't play this because I still have not seen Code Geass yet. I know how the story ends because the show is old and people were saying, never mind, you know what, never mind. I'm not going to say that because if you have not seen it, you should watch it. Granted, this is coming from me, somebody who hasn't seen it, but from what I can tell, a lot of people like it, and eventually I'm gonna watch it. So yeah, I was trying to open some water one-handed, but I couldn't do it. So let's see. Oh, okay. It looks like it's just this. Okay, I think I can join this one. Okay. So here we are. We are in the Discord. All right. Okay. All right. So it looks like right now it's not. It's not any the soup store. How many of you guys know that reference? If you do, please let me know because that's funny. Um, where do I go for this? It's not that. Petition. So where am I going? Suggestions. It looks like. Yeah, it's not looking good because I don't really see anything else going on here. What was this? Okay, so last month. Okay. Kind of hope just the entire story. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's still about the same thing. So, unfortunately for you Code Geass fans, it looks like it could still happen though. It definitely still could happen, but at the moment, nothing is really going on. So, it's unfortunate. And let's see the final one, which is the Cydia Final Fantasy Brave Opera Omnia. Let's see if there's any progress going on with this. Remember what's wrong with those times. Wait, hold on. Okay. Like the title, is there a way to get this game to like a private server? Why do some people capitalize random stuff? Um. Okay. All right. So there is a offline version being made, like I said before. Um. Let's see what happens if I click this. Wait, hold on. There's a server I can join. So let's join that. Okay, we are in here. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. I. Oh shit! Hold on. Wait. Hold on. We actually have results. Okay. So the recent update is April 5th. So April 5th, 2025 update. Temporary missions are still ongoing. Moving a little slower than I would like. I think 2 weeks off to heal slowed down the help we needed. So if you have time to contribute, please feel free to DM me when you get set up. This is early beta access. I want to change the thing. Wait, that's Theodore. Yeah, or whatever. Cecil and Rose's kid. Spoilers. I'm not sure if we have any gameplay. Wait, hold on. I wasn't able to do any damage review having this study update because I'll be happy. I know it's something called Windows System for Android, but I didn't look much into it. Okay, this is a wall of text that I'm not gonna read because we would be here all day. But from what I can tell, hey, it looks like out of all of these, this is the one that is like actively being worked on. Hopefully, dude, Square's not gonna see this video. I barely have any subs on YouTube, but if they do, Square, this is all jokes. This is all jokes. Yeah, this is all pranks. So look at me. I'm in Brave Frontier Recoded. Yeah. But yeah. So it looks like this one is actually being worked on. I'm so glad that it is because, like a lot of people have said, Dissidia was probably one of the most generous gachas out there ever, and for Square to take that away from us without literally just making the game offline, the easiest thing you could do is just take out all the gacha stuff and just make the game offline. For them not to do that was stupid. I still really do not understand why they did that, but whatever. Actually, hold on. We're gonna check one more. We're gonna check one more that I didn't think about until like I was getting ready to end the video. Casting thing is ending service. Raise. That's a link. Translation. Allows the game shut down. By the way, this whole thing was so crazy about how fast Luminera died. This game was not around that long. All right, look. Same voice actor. Okay, cool. Down. All right, let's actually join the server. Granted, Tales of Raise is still not my favorite Tales of game ever, but comma, at the same time, if we're able to do this and this does well, maybe someone will be able to like will be able to do Tales of Link, because if someone does a Tales of Link thing, dude, I would fucking scream. All right. Okay, so 2024. Okay, it looks like not really. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Fuck. Okay, never mind. Ignore that. Once again, this has a lot of stuff that I'm not reading because this is a lot for me to read. And I don't think you guys want to hear me like mess up simple words. So it looks like Tales of Rays is getting worked on. So out of all the games we checked today, at least we have 2 that are being worked on in the background. Maybe 3 with a Bluestone, but the link is dead, and I don't know what's going on with that. So with all that being said, I love this community. I love this community of people who are putting games that were killed a little too early, or games that a lot of people liked and were around for a long time, putting them back together and making them still playable. Because, like I've said before when I talked about this, it's getting more and more important to preserve everything that we have on the internet. Well, not on the internet, but just like for games and other stuff, so that way it doesn't become lost, and that way, you know, when we are all dust, people who, I don't know, who have phones implemented in their heads can think, you know what, man? You know, I think I want to play Tales of Link on in my head right now. Then they can just like, you know, download it in their brain and be like, oh, cool. So this is what people were playing back in like 2017 or whenever this game came out. I don't know where I was going with that, but I think you get what I mean, though. So this is fun to look at. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I had a comment asking me about I think Brave Exodus, and so I was like, you know what? Let's just look at all the games that I've covered about like them getting an offline version and see where it's at. I might do this again. I'm running over my words. I might do this again with other games because like if someone out there is making a English version of Monster Strike, I would love that because Monster Strike, amazing. Same thing with Rune Story and the other gacha games that we lost super early. Wait. Okay. This is okay. So it looks like nothing for this, but fan project. Hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean by fan project? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's join this Discord. And let's see what's going on. Fuck. All right. Okay, well, it looks like still nothing is going on with this from what we can tell. I can't join the Blazing server, the offline version of it, because the link is dead. So I don't know what's going on in there. But I'm actually gonna wrap it up here because if I don't, I'm gonna think of other ones, and then this video is gonna be like 3 hours long. So like I said, I might do this again with other games, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so yeah, it looks like with some of this stuff, it's being worked on. Others might be, I don't know. I don't have access to the server, but like I was saying before, I thought about this. I'm glad that now we're in a space to where people are trying to save stuff that they like. Once again, this would have been, I wish this would have been amazing during like the first start of gacha games, because I'm pretty sure Blood Brothers would have been saved. Blood Brothers, brother. I'm pretty sure that would have been saved along with a bunch of other mobile games that a lot of people have not heard of, because I willing to bet if you walk down the street, I don't know why you would do this, but if you walked down the street and said, "Hey man, you like mobile games? Like, have you ever heard of Blood Brothers or whatever it's called?" I'm willing to bet people would be like, "No, bro, the hell." So yeah, I'm just glad that now we're starting to do this more often and stuff. Hopefully, if I do a part 2, there are more games out there that are being remade, like Tokyo Ghoul Rebirth, because I know that was supposed to be worked on, but I don't know the status of it, and I'm not going to look it up because I want to end the video here without dibbling into every little thing that I want to. So with that being said, if someone who was working on an offline version of the game said, "Hey man, you random stranger, we're gonna let you pick a game that we bring back to life. Which one would you pick and why? Are you excited about the games that are getting a remake, that are getting an offline version when they come out? Are you gonna play any of them? I definitely am whenever they come out. And what are your thoughts on people preserving mobile games? You guys know my opinion. I think it's incredibly important that we do that, but I want to hear what you guys think. And do you think that these games are going to get axed by like Square or whatever? Hopefully not, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, thank you for watching. And man, this video is going to be something to edit because I had to do a lot of stuff. But with that out of the way, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I don't know what that's going to be.